నేను నైట్ చూసిన 11 2 8
డిపార్ట్మెంట్ అనేసరికి 2 సార్లు
అంటే తర్వాత డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నెక్స్ట్
Hello, class started.
Wait a few minutes, it will start.
Hi.
So what we are discussing? Yeah, we are discussed about the Dataproc. So in the morning session, we discussed about how we can able to run all these things by using the Spark SQL. Okay, so yesterday we discussed about how to run everything by using the PySpark, and today we're discussing how to run everything by using the Spark SQL. Now tell me here from your side, what is the Dataproc? What is the purpose of Dataproc? To create and manage Hadoop clusters, or we can able to say Spark clusters. We are going to use the Dataproc. Don't give the answer Dataproc we are using to run the PySpark code or Spark SQL code. That is the indirectly correct answer. But what's the direct answer? We can able to say to create the Hadoop clusters or Spark clusters, we are going to use the Dataproc. After that, after creation of the cluster, what we are doing here, on top of those clusters, we are going to run our PySpark code, or we are going to run our Spark SQL code by depending on our requirements. Okay. Now, in the yesterday session and the today morning session, we discussed about how we need to perform all these activities manually. Now we'll try to understand how we need to perform all these activities automatically. What is the meaning of automatically? Everything will automate? No, Andy. First time you have to do the initial setup. Initial setup is required for one time. After that, every day what will happen? Automatically everything will run in the daily basis by depending on setup, what we are doing in the Dataproc. We'll try to understand all that information. And one more very, very important thing, Andy. See, whenever we are going to create the Dataproc cluster, it will create few files and folders in your GCS bucket. Okay. So when you are cleaning GCS bucket, please don't remove those files. I forgot to inform about this. Some people already did this mistake, Andy. If you are going to remove those files, what will happen? You cannot able to work on that cluster. If you deleted by mistake, please try to create the new cluster. If you haven't deleted, please don't delete such kind of files, Andy. Just I will show you those files. If you observe here we are having the total 4 folders. Dataproc-staging, Dataproc-temper, -temp. These 2 folders are created by your Dataproc cluster. Whenever you are going to perform any cleaning activities on top of your GCS bucket, please don't delete these 2 things only. If you are going to delete these 2 files, what will happen? Or folders, you cannot able to work on the Dataproc cluster. Okay. So please go to your Dataproc cluster. Everyone. In the console, please go to your Dataproc cluster. So please go to your Dataproc cluster within the console. Just few seconds, and it is taking time to open the Dataproc page. Okay. So if you see here in the left side, we can able to see the multiple options, and we are having the options called as a jobs and workflows. So what is the purpose of jobs and workflows at the high level? Whatever the activities we have done manually in the morning session, to automate all those processes, we are going to create the jobs and we are going to create the workflows. And first we'll go to the jobs. Please go to the jobs. So within the jobs, here you can able to see the one button called as a submit job only. So please click on that. Within the jobs folder, within the jobs section, please click on submit job.
Sir, we could not see the job.
Now please go to the Dataproc console. In the Dataproc console, please click on your cluster. Then in the left side, you can able to see the clusters, jobs, and workflows. If you are in the VM instances page, you cannot able to see that information. Please go to your cluster page. Again, I'm repeating, please search with the Dataproc. Go to the Dataproc console. There you can able to see your cluster. Click on the cluster. Then in the left side, you can able to see the jobs and workflows and clusters option. Please go to the jobs. Okay, here it is asking the job ID. You can give any name and just I'm giving it as a drop one. I am giving the name called as a drop one for this job. After that, you have to select the region. And after that, here we need to select the cluster. Once you click on the drop down, you can able to see already existing cluster and my existing cluster name as a CD batch 19. I am selecting this option. Just to give you a just to provide a job name. And after that, we have to select the region. Already this cluster is in the US Central. So for that reason,
Yeah, it's asking submit job.
Yeah, click on the submit job one. So it's a name. Actually, they're given the naming convention differently. So instead of create a job, they're asking it as a submit job. They're given that option like that. Don't confuse because of seeing this name. Submit a job is nothing but we are creating plus we are submitting in parallel. Click on the submit a job. Okay. Now here you can able to give the job ID. You can give any name. After that, we have to give the region. After that, you have to select the cluster. Here I selected my existing cluster. After that, it is asking the job type only. Now you try to give the answer based on your understanding. What is the job type we have to specify by considering the morning class? PySpark or Spark SQL? Spark SQL. But if you want, what we can do here, you can able to run the PySpark code also by using the jobs only. That we'll discuss later. But for now, as per the today's session, I want to trigger the Spark SQL related jobs only. So for that reason, select the Spark SQL. After that, it is asking the query source type. See, here we are having the two options and one is nothing but query file and second option is nothing but query test. Any guesses what are the difference? Test is nothing but we are given the complete command within the test box only. But coming to file, what we can do here is whatever the scripts we are having, you can able to copy all those scripts into .SQL files only. For example, so this is the data. This is the script we are having for one of the file. So what I will do here, I will create a file called as a salesman.sql. In that file, I will keep all this content. After that, instead of giving the code here, what we can do, we can able to give the file path. If you want to give the file path, we have to give it as a query file. And after giving the query file, what we need to provide? You need to provide path of the file and in which path you are having the file. First, you need to create the file. You can upload that file into the HDFS system, or you can able to upload that file into the GCS. Wherever you are uploading, that path we need to provide here. For example, here I'm giving dummy path, gs:// I'm giving Dataproc 19. Just I'm giving some dummy name like this only. What I'm doing here, I given the option called as a query file. After that, I am given the path of the file. So in which path we need to keep the files, either in the GCS path or we need to keep it in the HDFS path by depending on our convenience only. We have to provide the path of the file. After that, no need to select any other options. Just we need to click on submit. If you click on the submit, see you will get an error. What's the error? Drop one must specify either a query or a query file. What it means indirectly? You given the file name, but still it is given the error. This is the bug I'm seeing in this page only. Actually, even after giving the file also, it is given the error. So for that reason, we cannot able to proceed further because of giving this kind of error. And if you want to see the code, if you see here, we are having the equivalent Rust code only. If you click on this, actually coming to file URL, we given the path, but what's the value it is taking? It is taking this value as a null. There is some bug in the GCP side. It's not the issue from our side only. There is some issue in the GCP side. For that reason, even after giving the path also, what is happening here? It is given the error. Now, how to proceed further? What we can do? Instead of file, just give it as a test only. Because of this reason, no need to stop here. What we can do, instead of giving the file, we are going to give the complete command as a test. With that, we can able to proceed with our operations only. Please select it as a query test. Please select query test here. Okay, now which operation will perform? We'll drop the databases and whatever the databases you created, will drop the databases. Where we are having all database information in the GCS bucket, you can able to see our database information. If you go to the Dataproc, in the Dataproc, here we are having the raw DB one database and processor DB. This is the one more database only. Whenever you are going to create the databases, it is created in the folders like this. Now, if I am going to drop the database, what will happen? From this GCS bucket, it will remove the raw DB. At the same time, it will remove the processor DB also. Now you tell me, what is the query we need to use for the purpose of dropping the database?
Drop.
Just give it as a drop database. I will copy this otherwise. Drop database name. After that, we need to give the cascade, because in this database, we are having already multiple tables, and if you are not going to give the cascade, what will happen? It will throw the error. So we have to give it as a drop database name cascade. Just I'm clicking on enter. In the next line, I will give the one more database and which is nothing but my processor database.
Why we are dropping databases?
Now we'll recreate it. So because I want to do the same operations and whatever the operations we discussed morning, I want to perform all these operations again by using the automated way, by using the jobs and workflows. That's the reason just I'm dropping the database. Drop database, second database I'm giving here. Cascade. Just for our benefit, I'm pasting these comments in the Telegram group. Very simply, we are not doing anything. Just what we are doing here, we are giving some kind of query here. By giving that query, I am trying to drop the databases from my system. After that, just click on submit. Please click on submit. So once you click on the submit, and what is happening here is, it is creating the job. At the same time, we are submitting the job also. Submitting is nothing but it is running all those commands in the backend. With that, whatever the queries you given, it is running all those queries. With that, it is trying to drop the databases. Currently, status is showing it as a starting. Just wait for a few seconds. Actually, in the console, whatever the output we are getting, and is similar kind of output you can able to see in this screen also. In the video, you are getting some kind of output. Same output morning we saw on top of our console also. After a few seconds, it is displaying the message called as succeeded. What is the meaning of succeeded? It removed the databases from your system, which is nothing but if you go to the bucket again, what will happen here? Earlier we are having the processor DB, we are having the raw DB and D. Now just I'm going to click on the refresh button. If you click on the refresh, what happened? It removed the things. Okay, this is the way. With the help of the job also, we can able to perform all our required operations. Whatever the queries morning we discussed for all the files and the same operations we can able to perform with the help of the job also. Whenever you want to create the job, what we can do here? Simply we need to go to the job section. Here we need to click on the jobs. After that, we need to give some kind of inputs, and with that, what we can do here? You can able to create the jobs and we can able to submit the jobs. With that, we can able to perform all the activities by using the jobs. Okay, but here my requirement is not only creating the job as we discussed morning and I want to create the multiple jobs. At the same time, in between all these jobs, I want to provide the dependency and now whenever we are having such kind of requirement, here what is the requirement? I want to create the multiple jobs. At the same time, in between all these jobs, I want to create the dependency. Whenever we are having such kind of requirement, we are going to use the workflows, and with the help of the workflows, we can able to achieve this kind of requirement. Now you tell me, what is the difference between the job section and workflow section? In the job section, just we can able to create the jobs, but we cannot able to define the dependency between the jobs. But coming to workflows, what we can do? In the workflows, If you want, we can able to create the job. At the same time, in between the jobs also, we can able to provide the dependencies. And just for example, I given the drop command, but you want to perform the only drop or you want to perform all the remaining operations. If you want to see the end-to-end operation, I need to perform all the remaining activities also. For that reason, what I will do here is we'll go through the workflows, and in the workflows, we'll try to understand how to create the jobs. At the same time, we'll try to understand how we need to define the dependency between the each and every job. With that, we can able to do the perfect orchestration as part of our requirement. Okay, just go back to the Dataproc again.
Sir, it's my side showing Google Cloud Dataproc agent reports job failure error.
Might be you given some kind of wrong command. Please verify that once.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I'm also getting.
So here, please go to the workflows. Okay. Here, if you want to perform these activities from the workflows only, we need to create the workflow template. So please click on the create workflow template. Click on create workflow template. Click on create workflow template. Once you click on the create workflow template, it is asking the template ID. You can give any name. For my understanding, here I'm giving it as a use case 3. You can give generic name, but here I'm giving it as a use case 3 for my understanding. Template ID. After that, leave the region as is and just click on the next button. Give the workflow template ID, leave the region as is, and click on next. Once you click on the next, if you observe here, it is asking add a manager cluster or a select a cluster pool, and which is nothing but they are asking the two options. One is you want to create the cluster, then you want to run the workflow, or you want to use the existing cluster. They are given the two options, and by depending on our requirement, you can able to choose any one of the option. If I'm given the first option, what will happen? It is going to create the new cluster, but my requirement is I want to use the existing cluster. For that reason, I am going to select the second option. Please select second option. Select cluster which is already available. Now what it is asking here, it is asking your cluster label, and for your cluster we are having a label. That label we need to provide here, but from where we need to get the label? Again, we need to go to our Dataproc window. Please open a new tab in the browser. Please open new browser. Sorry, new tab in the browser. Give it as console.cloud.google.com. So we need to give the label of your Dataproc, and from where we can able to get the label? From the Dataproc only we can able to get the label. That's the reason just I'm opening a new tab. In that tab, please go to the console.cloud.google.com. After that, again search for Dataproc. Please search for Dataproc. After that, please click on your cluster, whatever the cluster you want to use, please click on that. Please click on the cluster. After click on the cluster, please go to the VM instances. After click on the cluster, please go to your VM instances. Sorry, it's my bad, Andy. So please go to the configuration, not to the VM instances. Beside the VM instances, you can able to see the option called as a configuration. Please go to the configuration. Please scroll down. If you scroll down below, you can able to see the option called as a labels, Andy. Please click on the drop down beside the labels. Beside the labels, you can able to see the drop down. From here, you need to take the labels, and if you observe here in my system, I'm having the 3 labels. Out of 3 labels, I need to take the first label. Please put your mouse there. It is showing the pop-up like this. From this, please copy the complete content. Right click, copy. Go to the configuration tab. In the configuration tab, please go to the labels. In the labels, please click on the drop down. Here you can able to see the 3 labels and out of the 3 labels, please put your mouse on the first one. Then you can able to get the hamper like this. On top of this, please select all this value. Please select the value, right click, copy. Just I'm copying that into my notepad. So you have to see the value like this, Andy. Google-Dataproc-cluster-name. Please verify this once. You have to take it as a Google-Dataproc-cluster-name. With this name, it need to provide the cluster. And this is the label. So you need to take the label from the configuration window. In the configuration, we are having the label section. From that section, please take the label. That label should be like this. It's a kind of a key value pair, Andy. Should be a kind of a key value pair. Now tell me, in your system and in my system, key would be same or key would be different? Everywhere key would be same only, but what is going to change? Value will change. In my system, I given my cluster name as a CDE batch 19. In your system, might be you are having some different name. This will change, but this value will not change for everyone. And key value would be same for everyone. And one thing, if you observe here you can able to see the space. And please remove the space. After the colon, you can able to see the space. Please remove the space. Please follow my instructions clearly. Otherwise, you will get the errors as part of doing your practicals. Take the label, copy paste into the notepad. Here beside the colon, you can able to see the space. Please remove the space. Now copy the complete label. Now where we need to go? Any guesses? We need to go to our previous workflow tab, Andy. Please go to your previous workflow tab. So why we are doing all these operations? As part of creation of the workflow, it is asking the label. For that reason, we went to the Dataproc, we went to the cluster. From there, I taken the label. That label value we are giving here. If anyone facing any issues up to here, please let me know. We are not doing anything, and just we are collecting the label. That label information we are giving as part of our workflow template. Please verify the key value once, 1 or 2 times, and it should be Google-Dataproc-cluster-name. If you are giving any wrong value here, you will get the error as part of running your workflow. Okay. After that, please click on next. Click on next. Now, if you observe here, once you click on the next, what is the next step, Andy? We need to add the jobs. Okay. Now you tell me how many jobs we need to add. As per our requirement, I need to add total 7 jobs, Andy. First one, I want to drop the databases. After that, five different files. I want to create the 5 jobs. After that, for target table, I want to create the 1 more job. So indirectly, how many jobs we have to create? You need to create total 7 number of jobs, Andy. For that reason, here click on the add job first. It is asking the job ID. For my understanding, I'm giving it as a drop. By seeing the name, you can able to understand this is the job for the drop databases, Andy. After that, what is the job type? Just say Spark SQL. After that, query source type we have to give. Here I've given the type as a file or text. If you are given the file, it is given the error because in the GCP side there is a bug, Andy. For that reason, instead of file, I want to give it as a test. Please give the test. Query test. After that, we need to give the drop command. Just I'm typing here. I will share one more time. Drop database name. And we need to add cascade also. After that, again, one more command, drop database name. I'm given the process DB database. And I'm giving cascade. Okay. Now tell me, if I'm going to run this, what will happen if there's a database is not available? Might be you will get the error saying that database does not exist. And how to work on that error? Just give it as a if exists. If exist, then only I want to perform the drop operation. If it is not exist, what will happen? It won't give any kind of error. And for that reason, just I'm giving it as a drop database if exist and raw database name I'm giving here. After that, here also I will give the same thing. Drop database if exists. Then we are given this information. Just I will put in the Telegram group. So please take this. Drop database if exist. Then I'm given the database name and cascade. I'm copying both the comments only.
Before we already dropped these two databases.
Yeah, correct. That's the reason just I'm given the if exist. What is the meaning of if exist? If it is existed, then only it is going to drop. Otherwise, it won't drop anything.
And also in workflow, we are doing both jobs process and workflow process.
Yeah, correct. What is the meaning of workflow, Andy? So in the workflow, we are going to create the jobs. At the same time, in between the jobs also, we are going to define the dependencies.
So then when we use jobs?
If you want to run a particular job, only single job, then you can go for the jobs. But if you want to run the multiple jobs together by applying the dependencies, then we need to go for the workflows.
If we run multiple jobs in jobs, then we have to do each one every
manually.
time.
Yes, correct. Okay.
Can't we call it directly after creating the job?
Sorry, can you repeat?
We will create a lot of jobs and then we will call them together. Is that possible?
No, that option is not available in the workflow. We have to create the jobs manually here. Okay. Yeah. So see here, just we are given the job name. I'm giving it as a drop. After that, we are given the job type. I'm giving it as a Spark SQL. After that, we are given the query source type as a query test. And after that, we are given the drop comments here like this. After that, please click on add. See, if you click on the add, what is happening here? It is adding the one of the job called as a drop job only. Now, in the same way, you need to create the other jobs also. Click on the add job one more time. Now, my requirement is I want to load the data into customer underscore LO table, London table. I am given the customer underscore LO. After that, again, job type is Spark SQL. Query source type is test. Coming to query test, what we have to give? If you remember, morning I given all the queries, right? So please from those queries take the information. And if you see my notepad, I given stars. I enable the color. With this, what I can able to understand? This whole query is for one table. This whole query is for the second table. For that understanding, I given the stars. After that, I enable the coloring like this. And otherwise, what will happen? As part of selecting, might be you will select next line also, it will create the problem to you. That's the reason, whatever the queries are related to the customer underscore LO, only copy those queries and paste it into the respective text box. Morning, whatever the queries we are discussing, for each and every table, we are copying that information into our workflow text box.
In real time, we will use morning process and yesterday's process, right? So
no, we'll use the any one of the process. And if you are going to work in a particular project, we are going to use the any one of the process. But I can able to say in different projects, we are going to see the different types of the options. But we don't know, right, in which kind of projects we are going to work in the real time.
This console also.
Yeah, this also. Yeah, correct. This also. See, I created the one more job called as a customer underscore LO only. In the same way, from your side, please try to create all other jobs also only. For every table, you have to create one job. Please try to create all the jobs with the proper information. If you are doing any kind of mistakes as part of execution, you will get the errors. Unnecessarily, we need to waste the time. That's the reason. Please try to create the job properly.
Sir, I am getting already existing error.
How you will get the error already? So what is the name you given? Please give the different name for the job ID. If you are given the same name, might be you will get that error. Okay. Next, I'm creating it for the customer underscore New York table. Give it as a query test. If anyone facing any issues or any concerns, please let me know. Are we discussing any new thing? Nothing new under here. Only we are discussing the workflow. Within the workflow, just we are copying all our required queries, except that we are not doing any activities. Next, I'm creating it for the salesman London table. Don't ask me the question, sir, from where we are getting all these queries and from where we are getting all these queries. Morning in the Telegram group, already I shared all these queries and I asked you to copy paste all these queries into your Notepad++. With that, what will happen? Now you can able to perform these operations very easily.
What are the options we'll get when we select query files option, sir?
Now you need to select the query test only. As I told you,
Ah.
query file is not working currently. You have to select the query test.
Okay, if we select the query files, what are all the options we'll get?
You can able to give the GCS file, or you can able to give the HDFS file, or you can able to provide the local file also by depending on your requirement. If you observe here, so if you are seeing my screen and so if I'm going to tell the query file in the below, you can able to see the option. It can be a GCS file with gs:/ as a prefix, or HDFS file with the prefix as a HDFS:// or local file with the prefix as a // which is nothing but here you can able to pass the files from the GCS bucket or HDFS path, or from the local file system also we can able to give the file path. With that you can able to run the queries. So I'm creating it for the orders also. If anyone not understanding what we are doing, please let me know. I will repeat it once if you want. So I added the jobs for all the 5 JSON related tables and customer London table, customer New York table, salesman London table, salesman New York table. After that, orders table. For all the tables, I added the jobs. Now last one I'm adding, which is nothing but result summary table. So from my side, I added all the jobs Sunday. If anyone facing any issues, please let me know. We'll discuss. With that, we can go for the next step. Any confusions also, please let me know. I will explain the topic one more time if you want. So my sincere suggestion, as part of creation of the jobs, please do the copy paste properly at least study. If you are doing the wrong copy paste, what will happen? You will get the errors. To find out that error, again, you have to spend a lot of time.
So when I am creating job, it's showing errors.
What's the error?
First job a drop on is errors.
Yeah, what's the error? I'm asking. What is the error you are getting? Can you please read that error?
Google Cloud Dataproc agent reports job failing.
No, you have to select the proper options, and I'm not sure what is the option you're selecting. If you click on the add job, here if you see job type is there, right? In the job type, you need to select the Spark SQL. I think you forgot to select the Spark SQL. If you're selecting the only Hadoop, if you're not changing this one, then it is expecting the jar file. Please change the job type as a Spark SQL.
I'm changing, sir, but same error.
In the query source type, what you given?
Source.
What's your name? Can you please tell me? I will.
Manohar.
Share. Manohar Yadav.
Yes, sir.
I given the permission to you. Can you please share your screen? 。 . 。  . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . . 。 . . 。 . . 。 . . 。 . . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 .
。 .
。 . Offline people, you are facing any issues? And after creation of the job study, please verify here type. All the types should be Spark SQL. So sometimes we'll do the mistake. We are selecting the Hadoop or PySpark. Please verify all the types should be Spark SQL only. Manohar, are you sharing your screen?
Yes, sir.
I'm not getting
Sir,
anything.
sir, if you want to edit the added jobs,
No, you cannot
there's
able to
option.
edit only. You have to remove that job and you have to create the new job again.
Sir.
Okay.
It's visible now, sir.
Yeah, I'm able to see. Okay, please continue now. In the query test, give the query only. Can you please give the query in the query test?
Okay, sir.
Okay, scroll down. This is not the query ID. You have to give us some different query. Please change that query later, but please click on create now for now.
DB data.
Please click on
Submit, sir.
submit. Why you are in the submit only? You should be in the workflow tab. Why you are in the jobs tab? I didn't get that.
Sure.
See, please follow my instructions as part of the class only. If you are doing some other things, so you will get the errors. Okay. So we are doing all these activities in the workflows, not in the jobs.
Okay.
So it's a kind of a basic mistake, Sandy. So please don't do the basic. If it is kind of a real mistake, we can able to spend the time. So I'm clearly saying that we need to perform these activities in the workflows. Okay. But if you're doing this activity in the jobs, what I can able to say, I can't able to do anything, Andy. So please follow my instructions clearly. That's the reason I'm giving that much of gap for each and every step. Please follow my instructions accordingly. Try to perform the activities. Okay. Now, any other people are facing any issues? Okay. If you see here, I created in my system all the jobs only. If you created well and good, otherwise please observe here for a few seconds. After creation of the jobs, what we have to do here, we need to define the dependency between all these jobs only. Please click on the next button. Please click on next. Just observe here for a few seconds. If you click on the next button, here we can able to see all the job names only. Whatever the job names we given, we can able to see all the job names here. Below the job name, you can able to see the drop down option. In the drop down, you can able to see all the list of the jobs only. Now, for example, for the drop job, do we have any dependencies? For the drop job, to drop the database, there is no dependency. For that reason, do we need to select any job here? No need to select anything, Andy. Don't select anything for the first job. There is no dependency to trigger the drop job. What about the customer LO? What is the dependency? First, I want to drop the database. I want to create the fresh database, which is nothing but indirectly. This job is depending on the drop job. For that reason, please click on this checkbox. Click on the drop checkbox and click on OK. Now see, customer LO job is depending on only drop job. What about the customer NY? This also only on the drop job. Because all these 5 tables are the independent tables, and I can run all these 5 jobs parallelly. I don't have any kind of issues. But to run all these 5 jobs, what is the prerequisite? Drop job should complete. For that reason, I am given the dependency on the drop job. In the same way, salesman LO drop job and salesman your drop job and orders job drop job. So like this, for all these 5 tables only, we are given the dependency on the drop job, which is nothing but when all these 5 tables are going to trigger or 5 jobs are going to trigger after completion of the drop job, then only it is going to trigger the remaining jobs only. That's the reason just we are given that information by using this drop down option. Okay. Now you try to give the answer. What about the result summary? Select including drop or remaining things only. Drop is not required because after completion of the drop only remaining jobs are triggering, right? Now I am having dependency for this job, this job, this job, and this all these jobs only. I am selecting all the jobs here. Click on except the drop. I am selecting all. If you want, you can select the drop also. Nothing is going to happen. Click on OK. Now see, it is saying that result summary is having dependency on the LO job, NY job, again salesman LO, salesman newer, and orders. On all these jobs, we are having dependency for the result summary. After giving all this information, please complete this activity first. all the people?
So for that, after drop only, our first table will run,
Yes,
right?
correct. Exactly.
Then then for
No,
customer,
not
New
then
York
until.
also
So all these customer London, New York, and all these tables are going to run in parallel.
parallelly.
Yeah, parallel is nothing but
There
all
is-
these jobs will trigger parallel because there is no dependency between these 5
Okay.
tables.
Mhm.
For example, if there is any dependency between the London table and New York table, that dependency we can define here because in the London table, I'm reading the data from the JSON file. New York also, I'm reading the data from the JSON file. We are not doing any extra activities only. For that reason, for these 5 tables, there is no dependency except the drop database. But coming to summary table, what need to happen? Data should be ready in all above 5 tables. Then only I want to load data into the summary table. That's the reason we are given the dependency for these 5 jobs of the result summary table.
As per requirement only, we'll give dependencies.
Exactly, Andy. So as per the request, so for example, in the class, I'm explaining about all these requirements, Andy, or I am defining all the dependencies. Based on that, you are doing all the activities. If you are going to work in the real time, how you can able to understand how to give the dependencies? Definitely by depending on the requirement. You need to understand the requirement. Based on the requirement only, you are going to define all these kind of dependencies in the real-time project. Okay. After doing all these activities, what's the last step, Andy? Just click on create. Click on create button. Okay, so once you click on the create button, here you can able to see your workflow templates. And what is my workflow template name? Use case 3, that is my workflow template name. Now, beside that, you can able to see the option called as a run option. If you see here, how many total jobs we are having in this workflow? Total 7 jobs. You are working on the existing cluster or you are working on the new cluster? I am working on the existing cluster. Like this, we can able to see the workflow and we can able to see the workflow information. After having all these things, Andy, please click on the run button. Beside your workflow, you can able to see the run button under the action. Please click on that. It is asking the confirmation. Please click on run one more time. Okay, we click on the run button and now it is running, but where we can able to see the options only running or not? Please click on this workflow. Once you click on the workflow, we can able to enter into the workflow here. Sorry, my bad. Please go back. Here you can able to see option called as a workflows beside Andy. Please click on this workflows. Beside the workflow template, you can able to see the option called as a workflows. Please go there. Here, my workflow is currently running by using the workflow ID. Please click on that. See, first one is completed. After that, all the remaining jobs are running, Andy. If you observe here, coming to result summary, is it running? When the result summary will trigger? After completion of above 5 jobs, then only it is going to trigger, Andy. Just I will show you one more time. Where we came? We came to the workflows. Earlier, we created the workflow template in the workflow template tab. Now, if you want to see the workflow is running or not, you need to come to the workflows tab, Andy. Whenever we are going to trigger, for every run, it is going to create the workflow ID. But by seeing the workflow ID, how we can able to understand which workflow ID is for our workflow? If you see here, you can able to see the name, use case 3. This is the one. Please click on this. If you click on this, there you can able to see all the jobs information. Now, first job is completed. Remaining jobs are in the running status, Andy. Please wait for a few minutes. And try to understand. This last one is depending on the previous 5 one. For that reason, it is showing the message called as a block.
Sir, what does this drop means in the dependency?
Yeah, you want to tell me what is the meaning of drop? Someone is asking the question, what is the meaning of this drop? Other people try to give the answer.
Dependency.
Job is having dependency on the drop job only. We define all the
Drop job.
dependencies, right? That information is showing here. This job is having dependency on this one. This job is having dependency on this. And last job is having dependency on these 5 jobs. That information they are displaying in the console page. Just click on refresh once. Now see, all these 5 jobs are completed. After that, it triggered the last one. Now it is in the running stage. Wait for some time.
That sometimes I feel that GCP is a little bit slow compared to other cloud.
Yeah, even for me also it is showing a little bit slow. Sometimes for me, I am also facing that issue. Might be one issue, might be our network, or might be that is the issue from the GCP side, because we are using the free version, right? So they won't
Yes.
bother about the free version people. That's the reason might be the delay is there, but it's okay. Just click on refresh. Okay, if you observe here, Andy, I am seeing all my jobs are successfully completed. Now, for example, if you are getting any kind of errors for any reason, if you are getting any kind of error, that is very important, right? How we need to analyze the errors or how we need to understand the errors, Andy. Very simple. Beside your job, you can able to see the job ID. For example, if my salesman and my job got failed, what we can do? Please click on that job ID. If you click on the job ID, from the workflow, we came to the running state. From the running status, we are jumping into the individual workflow only. Now, in this individual workflow, you can able to see what is the error. It is loading. Just wait for some time.
Can we run these jobs daily basis or minutes, hours?
If you observe here we can able to see whole the output for that job. Whatever is happened on top of the execution, you can able to see the whole output here. If there is any error, what will happen? You can able to see that information in this section. For me, there is no failure. For that reason, nothing is showing here. For example, if any table is not available or if any file path is not available, where we can able to see such kind of errors, simply you need to click on the job ID. Once you click on the job ID, it is going to open the window like this. In this window, in the bottom section, you can able to see this kind of information. Okay. Now someone is asking the question, can we able to schedule this workflow? That option is not available in the Dataproc. That option is not available in the Dataproc. That's the reason in the real-time projects, Andy, as part of orchestration, we are not going to use Dataproc. Instead of that, what we are going to use? Instead of this, we will use other orchestration tools. Like, just I'm giving an example as a Airflow, or we are going to use the Woozy ND. So actually in the workflow side, we are not having the option to define the timings at what time I want to run this job or at what time I want to trigger the workflow. We are having the alternatives, and the alternative is nothing but whatever the operations we have done, we can able to perform all these activities by using the commands. On top of the commands, what I will do here is I will create a cron job. This cron job I can able to schedule. So I'm saying that in the Dataproc directly we cannot able to define the time at what time you want to trigger. That kind of option is not available, but we are having the indirect option how we can able to perform that operation with the help of the cron job. We can able to schedule all these things, and that's the reason to avoid all these kind of operations in the real time. What we are doing, we are going to use the separate orchestration tool. Now you tell me, Dataproc is a kind of orchestration tool, or it's a kind of maintain the clusters.
Maintain clusters.
Main purpose of Dataproc is nothing but this is for to creation of our Hadoop clusters, and this is for creation of our Spark clusters. And this is not purely for the orchestration. If you want to perform any kind of orchestration, we can able to go for Airflow and we can able to go for Woozy. Now some people can able to get the question, if we are not using this in the real time, then why we are discussing? Obviously we'll get this question, and with this conclusion what you will do, you are not going to perform the practice. Are you saying that we are not going to use it in the real time anyhow, then why we need to perform the practice? I am only what I'm saying, Andy, there is an alternate option. What is the alternate option? By creating the cron job on top of this workflow, we can able to perform the scheduling activity. For example, you went to the X company. In this X company, they are following this approach. Then what you will do? That's the reason. Don't think that whether we are using in the real time or not using in the real time, Andy, whatever we are discussing in the class, please try to perform the practice, because as part of interviews, they will ask a question, Andy, can you please tell me how we need to create the workflow templates, or what is the purpose of the workflow, or what is the purpose of the job, Andy? Now tell me when you can able to give the proper answers, by listening or by doing the practicals. By doing the practicals, you can able to give the answers confidently. For that reason, whatever we discuss in the class, please perform all these activities as part of your practicals. Okay. Now this is the way you can able to understand if there is any error on top of your jobs and just click on the job. With that, you can able to find out the error. With that, you can able to resolve the things, and with that, you can able to rerun the workflow by depending on our requirement. All these are the things we need to understand as part of our workflow. And for example, if you want to see the workflow details, where we need to go? I want to see the workflow details. I don't want to trigger it. I want to see the details. Where we need to go, Andy? Go to the workflow template. Within the workflow template, please click on the workflow. Use case 3 is my workflow. Don't click on the run, and I want to see the content of the workflow. Please click on this. Once you click on this, here you can able to see all the job details, Andy. What is the job name, what type of job it is, and any job dependencies are there. All that kind of information we can able to see under the workflow. And you can able to see on which cluster it is running. All that kind of information we can able to see by click on the workflow template. So where we came to here, go to the workflow template. Please click on your workflow. With that, you can able to see all the information. Okay. This is the way you need to understand in the Dataproc how we are going to use the jobs and how we are going to use the workflows. And any questions up to here, please ask me again.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
So when we are dropping the databases, we are not giving any bucket path, right? I mean, when we are creating the database, we are specifying the location with a bucket path.
Yeah, correct.
But when we are dropping, we are not specifying it, right? Or like how
Okay,
it will take.
Yeah, I will tell you. For someone is asking, while dropping database, I am not giving any bucket path. Okay, and how we can able to understand bucket path here. So for example, see, Andy, I am creating a table. I'm given the column names. I'm given the EAD column and ENAME column, and I'm given the salary column. I created this table. Now tell me, as part of dropping the table, again, we are given the structure, we are given the only table name.
Only table name, drop table.
So with this, you can get the answer, Andy. So as part of creation of the table, we are given the structure, but as part of dropping the table, we are given the only table name. How this drop command can able to understand? It need to remove the EAD column and ENAME column and salary column. How it can able to understand? Internally, it is storing all the metadata. It is storing all the metadata. In this example, create table example, it is storing the metadata of the employee table. This employee table is having the EAD column and ENAME column and salary column. By using that metadata, it can able to understand as part of dropping the table, I need to remove all these columns also. It can able to understand. In the same way, here, while creation of the database, what we given? We given the database name and path. Indirectly, what will happen here? Internally, this information will be storing in the metadata. Whenever we are given the drop database, automatically what will happen? It will go to the metadata. In the metadata, it is trying to understand what is the path of this database. With that, it will remove that path automatically. For that reason, we are not given the bucket path as part of dropping our database. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. No
Got
issues.
it.
Any other
I
questions?
have a question, sir.
Yeah, please.
If you go to jobs, you will see a lot of jobs are there, sir.
Okay.
And I think those jobs were created for workflow.
Those jobs, sir, I didn't get that. Can you repeat that?
Those jobs created for workflow. I think those jobs are
Yes.
present here.
It's not a job ID, it's a job ID. If you observe here, we are having the job ID. Whatever the jobs are running in the workflow, all the job IDs information is
Okay.
capturing into the job section.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Any other questions?
Sir, in real time, after when we use the Dataproc clusters, so we need to integrate with the Airflow, sir, for scheduling and monitoring.
Yes, exactly. Correct. In the real time, we are going to integrate. That is the one more topic we are going to cover in the coming classes, Sunday. Integration of Airflow with Dataproc by using BigQuery. That we'll discuss in the coming classes. But for now, forget about the Airflow for some time, Andy. Just to focus on the Dataproc cluster. But coming to your question, answer is yes. By using the Airflow, we are going to integrate with the Dataproc and other services. With that, we are going to trigger the end-to-end pipeline in the real-time projects.
Okay.
So to understand that, we are going in the step by step only. Once you understand the Dataproc, so with this knowledge, we are going to perform the activities by using the Airflow. If I'm going to directly discussing about the Airflow, you will get the confusion, right? For that reason, first we are discussing what is Dataproc, how we are doing the scheduling activities in the Dataproc. With this knowledge, our Airflow classes will become such a very, very simple. Okay. Any other questions up here?
Okay, sir.
Sir,
Do we create a database in
One second.
tables?
Just 1 second. Offline people are asking one question. Yep.
Sir, in real time, we are monitoring the job in there or some other party tools.
No, we are going to use the different tools and we are having the different like Airflow is there, right? So by using the Airflow, we can able to monitor all the jobs. Okay. Yeah, online people, please continue. Somebody is asking the question.
Do we create a databases and create tables?
Yes.
I mean, data
At least
engineers.
in the lower environment. In the lower environment, we need to create the databases and we need to create the tables and it. But if you are going to work in the higher environment, we are going to provide the scripts to our DevOps people, or we are going to provide the scripts to the database administrators. They will create the tables.
Okay.
But in the lower environment, we ourselves have to create the tables.
Okay. As we are taking the manually file from JSON file from the bucket. So let's say our upstream application is continuously placing the files in the bucket. So here how we are extracting the files in a regular intervals, or are we running any job to
You are
extract
saying
and
in the buckets, you are getting the data files regularly?
yeah.
Regularly in the sense daily or weekly or monthly or hourly?
Yeah, daily at some time they will place file. So how we are so from there we can create a table, right?
Yeah, we are going to schedule the
Just
see. No,
that we
tell
followed
me
process.
every day are we going to create the tables or it's a one-time activity?
Table creation is one-time activity, but file pushing they will push the file daily, right?
Yeah, correct.
So
Then that is why we need to perform the only load operation, right? That load operation, we are going to create a job. Okay. And this job we are going to schedule. For example, every day morning at 10 a.m. you are going to get the file ID. So at 10 a.m. we are going to schedule the job. With the job, what will happen? It will read the data from the bucket and it is going to read the data and it is going to perform the load operation. So if you are saying that every day morning, for example, 10 a.m. you are going to get the data, then how we can able to perform the loading operation? What I'm telling here, with the help of the jobs only, you are going to perform those kind of activities on the daily basis. So where we are going to create the jobs, we are going to create the jobs by using our orchestration tools. In the Dataproc also, we can able to create the job, but we cannot able to perform the schedule operation, as I told you earlier. Is it clear or any confusion?
yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you just observe here, Andy. So far we discussed about Dataproc, jobs, and workflows. Now, just I want to tell you one more thing. Actually, till now, whenever you want to perform any kind of operations by using the Spark SQL, what we are doing here, we are coming to the Spark SQL prompt. From the Spark SQL prompt, we are performing all the operations of your everything, Andy. Now, for example, what we can do is from the Unix prompt also directly we can able to perform these operations. No need to go to the Spark SQL prompt. What we can do here from the Unix prompt only we can able to perform all these kind of operations. What we have to do here is just give it as a Spark-SQL space -f and provide your file path. So what I'm doing here, just I'm going to submit a job only. So how I'm going to submit the job? So this is a separate topic. Don't confuse with the jobs and workflow. Jobs and workflows are completed. Now we are discussing about the one more topic, and which is nothing but how we can able to run the file script by using the Spark SQL command. Just we have to give it as a Spark-SQL. After that, give the -f. After that, give the file path. With this, what we can do here? We can able to run the Spark SQL related commands from the Unix prompt only. What is the meaning of Unix prompt here? Just 1 second.
Sir, in real time, we are creating workflows and work templates through console itself, right?
Now, by using the Cloud SDK also, we have to do that activity. Okay. Now, before going to this topic, I want to tell you one more thing here. I forgot to inform. Now, see, we ran all the jobs or workflows. That is fine. But who will do the unit testing here? Huh? As a developer, is your responsibility, right? So, what are the unit testing we need to perform here? Try to give the answer. As part of unit testing, what all are the things I need to verify in this whole use case? Because this is again one of the interview questions. They will ask the question, can you please tell me what kind of unit test cases you will write as a data engineer in your project? In this use case, at least try to give the answer. What all are the things we need to verify after completion of the job running?
First of all, we have to check whether the database is created.
Databases are created or not. How we can able to check this? From the console or from the Cloud SDK? From the Cloud SDK, how we can able to check this? Just give the command called as a gsutil space -ls space your path bucket path, and with that you can able to verify whether databases are created or not. This is the one thing. After that,
tables are created or not.
Within databases, verify all 5 tables are created or not. What next?
We have to give the
Within
select star.
database, verify your process related tables are created or not. Okay. After that, verify the structure of the tables, because we are creating the table, so we need to verify structure is coming properly or not. What is the meaning of structure? Column name, data type, length, all this is we need to verify all this information. What else? What's the main thing? We need to verify the data of the tables. How to verify the data? Just to open the file manually and give the select star from the table, you are going to get the data. That data we need to compare against with our file. But if you are going to have the lakhs of records only, we are going to verify all the records, or we are going to perform the only sample testing. We are going to perform the sample testing because in the real time we are going to deal with the lakhs of records only. You cannot able to validate all the records. For that reason, we are going to perform the sample testing. After that, verify the count validations. What's the meaning of count validations? In the file, if you are having the 1,10,000 records, in the table also how many records you need to load? You have to load the same 1,10,000 records only. We need to perform that kind of validation. And one more last thing, in summary table, verify the data by considering our transformations or requirements. Indirectly, I can able to say, as part of unit testing or as a developer or as a data engineer, you need to verify all these kind of things. And if you want to verify, we need to verify databases are created or not, and we need to verify all the tables are created or not, and we need to verify all the process tables are created or not. We need to verify the structure, we need to verify data, we need to verify the count, then we need to verify in the summary table whether data is loading properly or not by using our transformations and requirements. And all these are the basic validations we need to perform as a developer or as a data engineer in our real-time projects. Okay. Now tell me how we are going to perform the count validations. Select count of star from the table. Can we able to use the minus operator here? No, because our source is a file or our source is a table. Source is a file. On top of the file, you cannot able to perform the minus operation. Now your file is in the Unix box. So I want to understand how many number of records we are having in the file. What is the command we need to use?
Difference.
The Unix file. No, in the Unix box, I want to understand how many number of records we are having in the file.
WC minus L.
WC minus L file name. With that, you can able to get how many records we are having in the file. That count should match with your select count star from the table. With that, you can able to perform the count validations. And so these are the some basic test cases we need to write as a developer as part of our real-time projects. Okay. Now we'll try to understand what is this Spark SQL. And so from the Unix prompt also, what we can do here, you can able to run the, or you can able to submit the Spark SQL application. For this, what we will do here is, we are going to create the files. We'll give it as a file.sql. For example, I'm giving file1.sql. In this SQL, what I will do here is, I will copy all my queries. So what I'm doing here, I am going to create one file called as a file1.sql. In this file, I will copy all my queries, and after that, I will create, for example, file2.sql. Here also, I will copy all my queries. Now, after creation of all the files, if you want to submit the job, we have to give it as a spark-sql-f. After that, just give it as a file1.sql. And if you want to run the second one, give it as a file2.sql. So this is the way simply we can able to submit the SQL files. And morning what we did, we connected to the Spark SQL prompt. In every prompt, we are going to run all these queries. Might be you are running all the queries at a time, or you are running the one by one query. And but I know for this orders table, I want to trigger all these commands at a time. Then what I can do here, I will put all these commands in a single file. I will give that file as input to my Spark SQL -f and d. With that, what will happen? You can able to simplify the process as part of your running the queries also. That is the one more option we are having. Just we'll try to see that option. Now you tell me, as per our requirement, how many files we need to create now? How many files we need to create? 5 or 7? You have to create 7. What's the reason? First one, I will create it as a drop.sql. After that, customer underscore LO.sql. After that, customer underscore ny.sql. After that, salesman underscore LO.sql. After that, salesman underscore ny.sql. After that, orders.sql. Finally, result underscore summary.sql. So like this, we are going to create the multiple files. And now you tell me, in the Unix system, if you want to create the files, what activity we need to perform? In the Unix, I want to create the files. What we need to do?
Cat.
Just give it as a cat space drop.sql. That's the reason I told you in the previous class, Sunday, every topic is interlinked here. If you are not doing if you haven't completed the practice on top of the Unix, you will get a lot of confusion. What commands we are running in the cat and what is the WC command. That's the reason every topic is important. Now, where we need to create all these things? Just to go to your Unix prompt. Okay, so please go to your Unix prompt and in the Unix prompt, create a folder called as a scripts folder. Please perform this activity. How to create the folder?
mkdir.
Just give it as a mkdir. Give the folder name as a scripts. mkdir space scripts. In your Unix path, please create a folder called as a scripts folder and go to the scripts folder by using the cd command, cd space scripts. Create a folder. You can give any name and just for understanding, I'm saying that give it as a scripts folder. Within that, go to the scripts folder by using the cd command. Cd is nothing but change directory. Now here I want to create the scripts, and if you want to create the script, cat greater than, you have to get the first one is drop.sql. Click on enter. Now what is the query we need to pass? Whatever the drop query we discussed morning, so same query we have to give it here. Already I shared all these queries, and please take the queries and please paste it. Now how to come out of the cat session? How to come out? Just control D. By giving the control D, you can able to come out from the cat. Now we are having the one script called as a drop.sql and D. In the same way, I want to create customer underscore LO.sql. Here, please copy all the queries which are related to the customer underscore LO table. Same question again. Are we doing any new thing? Nothing. And morning, whatever we discussed, just we are converting all those queries into the SQL scripts. And after that, we'll try to understand how we can able to submit the scripts. Just start creating customer underscore ly.sql. Sorry, ny. And within this, I am copying all the queries which are related to ny. Again, cat salesman underscore lo.sql. Next, cat salesman underscore ny.sql.
Why we are doing this in Unix? Just showing the option.
Sorry,
Usage. Why we are doing this in Unix? Just show.
No, this is the
just
one
show
more.
this option.
This is the one more way of running our jobs in the real time. That's the reason we are discussing that.
After console, we have to run this
Yeah.
in this Unix.
Yes. So I copying all the queries of the orders table also. And at the end, just I'm copying the queries of my results underscore summary table also. See, total I created the around 7 files and drop.sql, customer LO, customer envoy, salesman LO, salesman envoy, and orders.sql file. And finally, I created the results underscore summary.sql. So like this, just I created the 7 different files. Why we are doing this activity? Very simple. Instead of running one by one query, what we are doing, Andy, for every table, we are copying all these queries into the single SQL file. Now, for example, my requirement is I want to load the data into the result summary table. What I can do here? Whatever the SQL file we are having, directly you can able to trigger this SQL file. With that, automatically what will happen? All these queries will run. With that, it will load the data on top of your required table. Just for simplification, what we are doing here, we are copying all the queries into the individual SQL files. And now, after copying all the commands into the individual SQL files, if you want to trigger, what we can do? Give it as spark-sql -f. First, I'm giving the drop SQL command. So why we are dropping again? Because I want to create all these tables one more time, and for that reason, I am dropping the database. With that, I will perform all the activities. Okay. So first activity is completed. In the same way, you need to run for all the remaining scripts also. So you want me to run all the things, or you will check it later? So you can do it in the same way, Andy. So I'm not going to run all the things, but from your side, don't think that no need to run all the things. And from your side, please run everything. With that only you can able to get understanding. So create all the SQL files. After that, please run all these SQL files with the help of the spark-sql-f, and we are given the SQL script. And this is the one more way of the execution. This is one more way of execution by using spark-sql. So this is the one more way of execution by using the Spark SQL. But tell me here, as part of running all these commands, and we are in the Unix prompt, or we are in the Spark SQL prompt? We are at the Unix prompt, and we are not at the Spark SQL prompt. Indirectly, from the Unix prompt also, we can able to submit our Spark SQL related jobs. And if you want to do that activity, we need to run the command called as a Spark SQL-f. We need to provide our SQL script. With that, we can able to run all the things by depending on our requirement. Now, overall, you try to give the answer. How many ways we solve our use case 3? Try to recap all the things, whatever we're discussing from yesterday, and try to give the answer. How many ways we solved our use case 3? First approach?
PySpark.
By using PySpark. Second approach?
PySpark.
By using Spark SQL from the prompt. Third approach?
Unix.
Spark SQL from the Unix
by using Cloud
prompt.
Fourth one, by using the same Spark SQL, but
Unix prompt.
This is the Spark SQL prompt, and this is the Unix prompt. Okay. And same example we discussed on how many types of the files? We discussed on HDFS files, and we discussed the same example on top of the GS files. And as part of this whole example, we discussed about JSON files loading, and we discussed about Parquet file loading. Indirectly, I can able to say with the yesterday session and today's session, we cover the multiple real-time scenarios. And after completion of the class, you need to analyze like this. What are the things we covered as part of the classes? This is the whole summary. I can able to say what we covered as part of our use case 3. Okay. Any questions up to here? Please ask me again.
So you are given a Spark SQL Unix prompt. Actually, we open directly Unix prompt and we given our files.
Yeah,
Right?
correct.
We
Andy.
did
So
not give any Spark SQL.
No, but as part of in the Unix prompt, when I'm submitting what I'm giving here, we are using the Spark SQL only, but I'm submitting the Spark SQL from the Unix prompt. That is the meaning.
We are running, right?
Yeah, we are running, correct.
To running.
Yes.
Just creation of tables and all, we use Unix prompt.
Yeah, correct. Okay. Yep. Any questions? If no questions, Andy, so that's all for today. So we'll meet you in the tomorrow session. Yeah, please.
One question. Sir, we can run those SQL scripts one by one. Could you run at a time by giving a space, and after that one we are giving
Yeah, you can. That's depending on your convenience, and you can create a single SQL file. In the single SQL file, you can able to put all these SQLs and you can able to trigger it. But if anything is failing, it would be very difficult to understand where it is failing. That's the reason better to create the individual SQL files for the individual table. With that, you can able to understand where it is failing, where it is working properly. For that reason, I created the separate SQL files.
Got it.
Okay. Okay. So one more thing, Andy. So from tomorrow onwards, we are going to start Python. So we'll start the one more GCP service. Other than GCP service, we are going to start discussing about the Python. So earlier we discussed about database concepts. Right? In the same way, as a data engineer, you should have knowledge on the Python also. So for that reason, from tomorrow onwards, we are going to start discussing about the Python. This is one thing. Other thing.
Dataproc is completed, sir.
Yes. Okay, so from my side, it's completed. And from your side, you have to perform the practice. Okay. Now, one more thing is, so actually, I'm observing that in morning class, especially online only, I am seeing around 60 people, but in 11:45, I am seeing now only 37. Okay, indirectly, around 25 people are dropping, and they are asking the questions again in the next class only. See, simple thing, what I'm trying to say here is, if you are not attending one class, if you are asking the questions in the next class, what will happen? Other people will get a lot of disturbance. At the same time, I cannot able to explain everything again for you separately only. So please try to attend all the classes without missing anything. With that only what will happen, you can able to get the end-to-end knowledge. And I can able to say these 25 people belongs to which batch? Any guesses? I can able to give the guarantee these people are from the old batch. So I am observing this is the one more thing, and old batch people are coming for the visiting purpose. One day they are coming, 3 days not coming. One day coming, 3 days not coming. So what I can do here, simply I can able to stop all those folks and whomever is not attending on the daily basis. But don't come into that kind of situation. Why we are allowing you all the old batch people? We understood from the old faculty you didn't get all the content. That's the reason we allowed you for this batch only. But if you are coming irregularly, what will happen? If these people are coming irregularly at the end of the course, do you know what is the comment they are going to pass? New faculty also not teaching properly. Without attending the classes, they can able to pass this kind of comment, Andy. Especially old batch people, I'm sincerely requesting you, Andy. We given the permission to you to attend all the classes one more time from 15 batch, 16 batch, 17 batch, and 18 batch, Andy. We given the permission to you. Please try to utilize this and try to attend each and every class. With that, you can able to get the end-to-end knowledge. With that, easily you can able to get the job. Okay. If you are going to misuse it, what will happen? We'll stop allowing old batch people into new batch. This is one request. And one more thing, Andy. Whatever the materials we are sharing, either notes or handouts, we observe that it's misusing. Misusing in the sense, Andy. So they are sharing these information to other institute people and other faculties, and they are teaching the same concepts into the other institutes, Andy. Don't do that kind of mistakes, Andy. So because it is very easy to find out who is doing that. That's the reason only we are using the infinity, Andy. From the Infinity, whenever you are going to download any document, automatically it is going to attach with your mail ID. So if you are going to find any such kind of things, Andy, obviously we are going to put the kind of a police cases, not me, Andy. Management said they are going to put the cases and they will take the action. So don't do the kind of mistakes. So we are putting these much efforts to give the knowledge to you. And from your side, if you are giving freely to other people, what will happen? It is not a kind of a proper thing, Andy. That's the reason. Don't do that kind of mistake. That is one thing. Another thing also, videos. What we observed is some people are sharing videos to other people. So this also we can able to find it out very easily, Andy. If you are doing that kind of mistake, what will happen? Simply we are going to remove the access for you. And after removing the access, please don't come and ask me, tell the so many stories, Andy. If you are going to remove the access, we want to give the access given back here. So simple thing, whatever the material or whatever the videos or whatever the notes we are sending, who is the owner for all those? Not me, Quality Thought, Andy. Quality Thought is the solely responsible for all that material. If that material is going to misuse anyway, what is going to happen? Management said they will take some kind of serious action. They asked me to convey this information to you folks, Andy. Might be you are assuming that if you are doing any such kind of things, other people cannot able to find it out. But in the management people, they are having so many other people in the other issues, right? Definitely they can able to find all this kind of information. Whatever the information we are sharing with you, please use that information properly. With that, you yourself try to get the job, Andy. Don't try to misutilize all this kind of information. Is it clear? Okay. If it is clear, that's all for today. We'll meet you in the tomorrow session.
I have a doubt, sir. Hello.
Yeah, tell me. One second.
Sir, about this practical implementation, sir, from Cloud SQL onwards, we are getting stuck at several points. So is there any go-to
one second,
website?
So just I will tell you. Multiple times, our lab assistant folks or our junior faculty asked you to join the Zoom meeting for any questions or issues. From lab faculty or from the junior faculty, I came to know that only 1 or 2 people are attending those sessions. So please try to utilize this also, Randy. So sometimes what we are doing, we are connecting whenever we don't have the classes afternoon, we are conducting this kind of doubts clarification session. If you can able to attend those kind of sessions, what will happen? Easily you can able to get the solution for all your issues. That is first thing. Other thing, so you're asking any sites. Just Google it, and whatever the error we're getting, so please try to Google it. With that, you can able to get the answers for so many questions. Most of the questions you can able to get from the Stack Overflow, or you can able to use the ChatGPT also. By using any one of these two, you can able to get the solutions. But instead of going to the Stack Overflow or ChatGPT, and we ourselves providing the support to you. Whenever you are seeing that kind of message, please try to join that Zoom meeting. And in that Zoom meeting, our lab faculty or other people will provide the support to you to clarify your questions or to resolve your issues. Please try to utilize it.
Is it every day or they will inform before?
No, whenever they are having the free time, they are sending, and I will check with them. So tomorrow also, today also, I will ask them to schedule that meeting. So please try to join and try to clarify all your questions.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. For this cluster, Dataproc cluster, we reserved one IP address. We can remove that IP address.
Yeah. This one? Yeah, yes. You want me? Okay, I will send it. Yeah, 1 second, again. Offline people, so class is over. If you don't have any questions, you can leave for the day. Online people, if you don't have any questions, you can drop. Yeah, someone is asking a question, please continue now.
So we have reserved some IP address, right?